Hey everyone, Captain Amazing here, and today I want to talk about new players returning to the game. So let's jump into it. If you're a new player and you just came back to the game, a lot of people question, should I start over? And I would say most of the time, if you have anything of substance in your account, the answer is no, you should stay without starting over. Even though the free to play and any just game now, you can get to level 85 really quickly. I think it's about a month and you can be level 85, but it does take a long time to farm all these things. And a lot of people think with fleet crystals that should be your number one thing that you do in this game, and I agree with you. Fleet crystals are very important, but believe it or not, I am a return player, and if I would have asked on Discord or something at the time, my account was like 1.8 million GP when I came back, and I had like 4 relics. There was nothing really of note. So if someone would have looked at my account and been like, yeah, just start over, fleet crystals are really important, everyone has the top tier profundity and executor, it's going to take you forever to catch up, and by the time you know X, Y, and Z is going to happen, and you're never going to feel like you can catch up. But I say don't fall into that trap. So the greatest thing about Fleet Arena is the entire GP of the account does not matter. If you look at my account, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is one fleet. That's it. And if you have a fleet that can compete, then you can get number one. Like, you look at my shard, there's executors, there's profundities, and look, it's all pretty much 7-star leviathans, when with some people who chose not to farm leviathan and using other things like profundity and profundity and executors to climb on our leviathans. So you absolutely can make your way and survive in a world where your fleet shard is competitive if you just farm one good fleet that can compete with whatever the top fleet is. You can also do it with chimeras. So I don't see any chimeras here. No one in my shard personally uses it, but I've seen plenty of people use chimeras with the scythe and tie interceptor to climb on leviathans. So if you're coming back to the game and you're thinking, should I restart? Probably not. Just stick it out, because you can prioritize your fleet and get good fleet placement regardless of what your GP is. So if you are a return player, what I would say you need to do is absolutely prioritize Fleet Arena. So farm, if you don't have a GL ship, farm that GL ship. If you have a GL ship like the Profundity or the Executor, and you can make it and you can figure out how to beat Leviathans, then do that. If you can't, and your fleet shard is full of Leviathans and you don't have a GL ship, then I would say farm something that can. If you're close to having your scythe shards and you're not against farming inquisitors, then farm inquisitors. If you can farm executor and you're willing to put some investment into it to clock it to beat leviathans, then do that. If you want to just go for profundity and make it a 7-star profundity, you can do that as well. But your first priority when you come back to the game needs to be your Fleet Arena. After that, I would say the next assault battle that's very important and really quick to do are these Jedi bros. So Padawan Obi-Wan, Master Qui-Gon, you don't have to go all the way to Relic 9. Relic 7 is fine. If you are really super new in the game, then you can take them to 7 stars without having in like gear 8, gear 9, and then you don't have to invest any Chirotech, and they will do what you need. They'll give you some credits, they'll give you some slicing material. So 100%, these need to be your second priority after you complete your fleet arena team. Once you have these two, I would say the next thing as a return player that is very important and everyone should have, even existing players if you don't have it, is Jabba. So if you haven't farmed Jabba yet, and you return as a player and you're like, what should I do? Do you have your Fleet Arena to where you're getting top 5? Excellent. Do you have your Jabba bros farmed? Then amazing. Next, start farming towards Jabba. And while you're doing those first and second things that I just listed, that's when you should be shard farming for Jabba, so that once it's your main farm, you can go all in on that. And if you can get Jabba, he's going to give you Smuggler's Run 2. So the Poncho Bros are going to give you all the credits. Jabba's going to give you Smuggler's Run 2, which is going to give you more slicing material, more micro attenuators, just an amazing overall GL. And that is going to really help you in getting your account good with mods, because new players or return players, you're going to have a lot of GP that is just going to be dropped into your account with Lightspeed bundles. So the problem with Lightspeed bundles is mod depth. Like, a lot of people just don't have the depth in their mods to be able to fully utilize those teams, because they're getting so much GP, so many relic characters at an accelerated growth, that you're not going to be able to maintain decent mods on them. At a certain point, your GP kind of plateaus, and then you can start like building up those backlogs for your mods. But it's just very difficult. It takes a long time. Don't feel like it's a you problem. It's an everyone problem. Mods are a struggle for everyone. So just work hard, do your 3 refreshes, farm the Poncho Bros, farm Jabba, and you're going to be just fine if you do it in that order. And then you're going to have excellent fleet placement. You're going to have some excellent credits. You're going to have excellent mods. And then what you can do is you can start weaving in your big farms and your assault battles, and then you start getting rolling. And that's what you should do. But what you shouldn't do is try to compare yourself to your fleet shards or where you can be. Just don't ruminate or expect yourself to be able to perform at a level that is unrealistic, because that's what leads to like heavy spending, and it just takes time. And I'll say this, like I came back 2 years ago. Like I said, I was like 1.8 million GP, and now I'm almost 10 million GP. And I did that in 2 years. Lightspeed bundles have a huge portion of that. Efficiency farming is another portion. Getting first in fleets, doing well in Grand Arena, they're all things that affect your income in this game. So I would also like to say, don't feel like you need to do a guild farm first so that you can get into a decent guild. If you have decent GP, you're going to be able to find a guild as you get your fleet, as you get Jabba, as you get your Poncho Bros. As long as you have decent raid participation, you're going to be able to find a decent guild. So don't feel like you have to, like, I have to farm Inquisitors right now, or I have to farm Zepho, or I have to farm Bo-Katan Mandalore, because those 3 things are what guilds want right now in like late end games, so that they can get heavy TB, or that you have to like hard focus on, you know, like lean, mean Grand Arena teams. Because if you farm assault battle teams, if you farm that Jabba farm, if you farm your Poncho Bros, if you farm your GL ships, all those are going to help you in Grand Arena. So anything you farm that's going to help you with resources is also going to help you in Grand Arena. It's going to help you in every game mode. But if you farm something only for Grand Arena, chances are it's probably not going to give you additional resources. So new players, don't feel like you have to be shoehorned into whatever your guild wants. Focus on your fundamentals, focus on your resources, and you too can find yourself competing with those accounts no matter the time that you have been gone, because there's only so much GP that they can fit in one team. And if you farm the greatest and latest, then they can't compete with you. And I do want to say my little personal story of how I did it. So when I came back, I finished, because I was farming SLKR, I finished SLKR. I went for Executor because I needed some fleet crystals. I farmed Executor immediately after that. And then I went for the new fleet that was just dropped, which was Leviathan. And I had to buy the Pass Plus. I saved up all my crystals that I was getting in first, and I used them to refresh the Malgus node. I farmed Malgus in 3 months. I farmed his ship out of Conquest, and then I unlocked the Leviathan 3 months after it was released. And since then, my account just blew up. I immediately got pushed into Kyber. I was getting first in fleets every day. and I wasn't having to save those resources. I then used those crystals to farm Jabba and finish off Rey because I bought the Lightspeed bundles and Star Killer, and then from there, boom, I've been in Kyber ever since, and my account resources have just been growing and growing and growing. So don't feel like it's impossible, and I would say if you're willing to do it, if you are returning right now, finish your GL fleet, start working on the Poncho Bros Jabba, and then once that 2025 fleet gets released, go all in on that, and then you'll be good to go for a very long time, not only in Grand Arena but also in Fleet Arena, because you will have the strongest fleet in the game, and they're gonna have to either find the off meta counter for it, or just maybe Leviathan or something will be on par, but at least you will have the latest and greatest, and it'll probably be just a tiny step better than Leviathan. So that's what I would say. Don't feel discouraged. Don't feel like you probably should have restarted. Push on, farm smartly, and then start punching up above your weight, and you're going to be just fine. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.